Like brothers, they've banded together for months, trading sweat for runs, inning by inning, all focused on one goal. Each out brings them one step closer. Now they take their game to the big stage, Champion Stadium, as they take to the field one last time, knowing one team is 7 innings away from being crowned national champion. Welcome inside Champion Stadium at ESPN Wide World of Sports at the Walt Disney World Resort here in Florida. This is the AAU 11 and under championship game. The Orlando Tigers set to take on Team MVP. Very pleasant good afternoon, everybody. I'm Dave Weekley, happy to be alongside former MLB catcher Mike LaValliere. And Mike, the folks who seeded this tournament got it right. Team MVP, the top seed is through, and they will take on the number 2 seed, the Orlando Tigers, for all the marbles this afternoon. Both of these teams have already had semifinal victories this morning, and now they're into the championship round.
Well, that's the way it should be. The best 2 teams are playing for the championship. Both of them are Florida teams, so there really shouldn't be any surprises. They know each other. They play in a lot of tournaments against each other. It's a matter of doing it on the field. Who's going to pitch best? Who's going to hit it? Who's going to catch it?
This is going to be the first of 3 live AAU championship games this afternoon on ESPN3. And just because this is the 11 and unders, don't be fooled. We're looking for a high-level brand of competition this afternoon.
Well, I tell you one thing, these teams, they play good brand of baseball, and they're just on the cusp of getting on those high school teams, so they're playing hard every game.
Teams have taken the field. We'll take a quick timeout, and then we'll come back with live coverage. This is the AAU 11 and under championship game. Top-seeded Team MVP and the second-seeded Orlando Tigers.
What are you watching?
Watch ESPN.
What's Watch ESPN?
It's a website that lets me watch ESPN live from my laptop.
ESPN, isn't that on TV?
Yeah, but you're always taking a TV to watch your painting shows.
Well, would you rather have all of this amazing art or be able to watch TV?
Paint a big tree. I like it. A la natural. Maybe there's a happy little cloud floating around. So let's
The art.
with some pressure.
Visit WatchESPN.com or download the Watch ESPN app.
Who will be crowned kings of Europe? Spain,
The champions will be fighting for the big prize again.
Italy. Euro 2012 final, Sunday at 2:30 on ESPN.
The Open Championship, golf's epic poem and perfect storm. A 4-day battle between the best in the world and Britain's devilishly disruptive elements. And in this drama lies that magical intersection of skill and luck, disaster and triumph. History is at hand. The Open Championship, July 19th through the 22nd on ESPN.
ESPN Wide World of Sports Complex puts the needs of traveling sports teams at the center of everything they do. They even offer an on-site team concierge planning service through the ESPN Wide World of Sports Welcome Center that specializes in helping teams and their families with theme park itineraries and last-minute dining reservations based on their competition and practice schedules. To find a full list of all the amenities designed for the convenience of our guests who compete before they celebrate, visit ESPNWWOS.com.
We're just moments away from the start of our championship game, the 11 and under Diamond Championship here to ESPN Wide World of Sports. Team MVP, the top seed, the Orlando Tigers, the second seed. Dave Weekley, Mike LaValliere here at the Broadcast Center, and a perfect day for baseball. Both of these teams were a little concerned this week, Mike, about the Tropical Storm Debbie. It threw some of the schedule back. We had a few rain delays, but we're going to get this championship game off as scheduled. Running a little bit late, but we're going to get this one in.
Yeah, the fields here at Wild World of Sports have the new drainage systems, and these things are so efficient here in Florida, so important. We do get a lot of rain this time of year, and boy, the field's just looking fabulous shape. The grounds crews have done an incredible job.
Both these teams won 2 games yesterday and won a semifinal game today. The top seed, Team MVP, defeated Titans baseball yesterday and then went on to defeat the Tampa Titans. Earlier this morning, Team MVP took out the Savannah Bulldogs. As far as the Orlando Tigers go, they beat the Lula Lugnuts on Friday at noon and then dispatched South Brandon's Hornets yesterday afternoon and won a wild 1-run game with the Indiana Prospects 6-5 earlier this morning to advance to the title game. We'll take another quick break, and when we come back, we'll get you ready for this 11 and under Diamond Championship. The top seed, Team MVP, set to take on the second-seeded Tigers from Orlando.
Who will be crowned kings of Europe? Spain.
And he has done it!
Italy.
Mario Balotelli!
The Spanish look to cap off an unprecedented run and cement their place among the greatest teams of all time.
The champions will be fighting for the big prize again.
But they'll have to overcome an Italian side that has risen again to the brink of another major title. Euro 2012 final, Sunday at 2:30 on ESPN. This week on Sunday Night Baseball, historic rivals meet on baseball's biggest stage as the Mets face the Dodgers. The gritty Dodgers are fighting to keep pace in the tightening NL West. They send reigning Cy Young winner Clayton Kershaw to the hill to cool down Mets superstar David Wright.
This ball is way out of here. A deep home run for David Wright.
And his sizzling bat. Sunday Night Baseball presented by Taco Bell. Mets Dodgers tomorrow at 8 on ESPN.
Let's break down the blockbuster deal. New York sends 2 guys to Chicago.
You know, these guys should help our guys finish ahead of their guys. Those guys are overrated.
How many guys you need at that position?
Our guys could use a couple of guys like those guys.
The guy they got for those guys, that's the guy for the future.
How many guys you need on one team?
Can anybody beat these guys?
Which guys? Those guys?
Yeah.
No.
To hear every story from every angle, go to ESPNradio.com.
The ESPN Wide World of Sports Complex is a cutting-edge multi-sport facility where athletes from over 70 countries compete in more than 60 different sports, all in the halo of the Walt Disney World Resort in Florida. Sports lovers can experience collegiate and professional action during the Old Spice Classic, Walt Disney World Pro Soccer Classic, AS Roma FC, and Atlanta Braves Spring Training. For more information, visit ESPNWWOS.com.
AAU Baseball Grand Nationals, the top seed, Team MVP, set to take on the Orlando Tigers, the second seed. Both of these teams have advanced through the brackets, picking up 3 wins apiece. Both won 2 games on Friday and had semifinal victories earlier today. Team MVP had the easier route this morning, dispatching Savannah easily, 12-3, but Orlando outlanded Indiana 6-5 to advance to this game. Well, teams warming up. We should be underway in just a few moments. Spanky, when you take a look at these teams and you're trying as a coach to separate the players and put them into their positions, I mean, everybody wants to pitch, right? How do you convince some of these players on these teams who will be high school stars, potentially college stars, maybe have a chance to play professional baseball, that they can't pitch? They've got to be assigned to another spot.
Well, one of the things that these coaches go through is, you know, they do have to use a lot of this roster to pitch. You get into these week-long tournament games, they've got pitch counts where they're limited to the amount of pitches that they throw. So they do have to use a bunch of these kids. Eventually, what ends up happening is they really play themselves out of the position. Coaches at some point will get them some mound time. If they don't do well, then pretty much answers the questions for them.
And you see the Orlando Tigers surrounding their head coach, Tommy Rosa. And it's kind of a difficult situation for a coach because you've already played such an emotionally filled semifinal and you emerged through that, and then suddenly you're turning around 45 minutes, 60 minutes later. Hey, you're on the field and you got to be focused for a championship game.
Well, these teams are really, I mean, these are savvy teams. They play a lot of baseball. So, they're used to this. And, I think, playing in the big stadium is such a huge thrill for these kids. I'm sure many of them, especially here in Orlando, have seen some spring training games. And now they're getting a chance to step on that same very field that Chipper Jones has played on, Derek Jeter, and Alex Rodriguez. I mean, this is a big deal for kids.
We're going to take one more break, and when we come back, we'll get this one started. Team MVP, the #1 seed in this tournament. It's the AAU 11 and under Diamond Championship. The Orlando Tigers trying to take it. They're the 2nd seed in this event.
A second chance for match point. That's beautiful forehand. Federer anticipated it. It's a volley. Serena. Brilliance. Definitely trying to be a little more aggressive. Unbelievable.
Hit me harder. I'm getting rewind. What are you watching?
Watch ESPN.
What's Watch ESPN?
It's a website that lets me watch ESPN live from my laptop.
ESPN, isn't that on TV?
Yeah, but you're always taking the TV to watch your painting shows.
Well, would you rather have all of this amazing art or be able to watch TV?
Paint a big tree. I like it. A lot natural. Maybe there's a happy little cloud floating around. So let's
The art.
with some pressure.
Visit WatchESPN.com or download the Watch ESPN app.
Hey, Kenny, your latest album, man, that just kills me. I listen to that every single night before I go to bed. It speaks to me. Hey, Kenny, seriously, I was thinking, we hang out sometimes. You give me your cell phone number, we can get together and maybe hang out like boys, regular guys.
Sorry, man. Doesn't look like there's any room here. Maybe you should go sit at the anchor table.
The ESPN Wide World of Sports complex is the ideal place for amateur softball, hosting annual events like Disney Softball Spring Training on top of working with organizations like USSSA and Diamond 9 Events to develop competitive events for players of all ages and skill levels. For more information, visit ESPNWWOS.com.
Orlando Tigers and Team MVP. We're going to be underway momentarily in the 11 and under Diamond Championship. We're coming to you live from Champion Stadium at ESPN Wide World of Sports. Temperatures this morning for the first game between these combatants in the semifinals in the mid-70s, but now the sun is out and we're looking for temperatures in the mid-80s, but not really uncomfortable and not a lot of wind to speak of, and that's a big change from just a few days ago during the Tropical Storm Debbie that put winds up to 80 miles an hour across the state. You can see now, though, that it's beautiful here. One of the reasons for the delay, the semifinal game between Orlando and Indiana went a little bit longer than anticipated. Orlando outlasting Indiana 6-5, and temporary backstop behind home plate being collected now. And once we get that off the field and move that along, oh, go, Ramon.
Yeah, I tell you one thing, as a catcher, I sure would have liked to have seen that temporary backstop. Wouldn't have been so far to go back to retrieve one of those wild pitches. Of course, there was no pass balls. There was a wild pitch. Yeah, look at that. He's huffing hard right there. The umpires talking to the managers and just about ready to go, Dave. You can see, the teams are excited. They came on the field, big smiles on their faces. It's pretty neat, for an 11-year-old boy to come out and experience this.
Oh, no question about that. Tony Roca is going to be the pitcher. He will be the pitcher for Team MVP. Let's go ahead and check our starting lineups for this game. And we'll start with Orlando, the visitors. Michael Rosa will pitch, and he will lead off. Alex Ortiz will be at shortstop. Miguel Burgos will be in center. Elian Roman will bat cleanup and be at first base. Yulín Torrielis will catch. The extra player in this 10-man lineup, Jesus Tapia. Third base, Dylan Wood. In left, Neil Rupani and Colin Gross will be in right field. Fish will be in the number 10 hole in this lineup, and he will play second base. And there's a good look at Team MVP, and you can see the MVP right on the back. And for Team MVP, Michael Sagaro is their head coach, giving final instructions. This is 11 and under. We're tentatively scheduled for 12 and under Diamond Championship at 12:30 this afternoon. And of course, you can see all these games. They'll be archived. You can watch them in their entirety from the beginning and approximately 15 minutes after the completion of each game.
Yeah, and there's been some alterations to the Big Field Champion Stadium here in order to get the right distances for this game. The pitching mound, as we see, is a portable mound. It's a little bit different. You land a little bit different. Your landing spot is a little bit more slippery. I don't know if the young boys will wear a different shoe out there, but if you have your plastic cleats, it might slip. The fences have been moved in. Obviously, 420 feet to center field is a little crazy whenever you're 11-year-olds. They play 50 or 70-foot bases, and we can see from that center field shot right there, see second base, there's a little cutout, a sliding pit right where second base is, and then obviously first and third in the right spots, and just a little bit shorter. Great shot right there of the sliding area over at second base. And that's one of the things, Champion Stadium, you can only do so much with it, so we do have to make a few little alterations to bring this game to bear.
Well, there you get a look at the dugouts. You can see the dugout where the Atlanta Braves fill in during the spring training. Now these 11 and under stars from the state of Florida set to take the field in just a moment. We're going to take one more break, and when we come back, we'll get this 11 and under Diamond Championship game underway from ESPN Wide World of Sports.
Hey, man, you really think I had a chance to win this thing or what?
Dude, you invented 3 catchphrases. Get some toast because here comes the jam. That was brilliant.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Okay, everybody, we have a little announcement to make today. The Employee of the Month award goes to our very own Doris.
She does make a mean, sloppy Joe.
I mean, how hard is that?
On Tuesday, July 3rd, be prepared for an unprecedented poker tournament. The big one-for-one drop with the biggest buy-in ever, $1 million per player. Tuesday, July 3rd on ESPN and ESPN2. Don't miss it.
This week on Sunday Night Baseball, historic rivals meet on baseball's biggest stage as the Mets face the Dodgers. The gritty Dodgers are fighting to keep pace in the tightening NL West. They send reigning Cy Young winner Clayton Kershaw to the hill to cool down Mets superstar David Wright.
This ball is way out of here. A deep home run for David Wright.
And his sizzling bat. Sunday Night Baseball presented by Taco Bell. Mets-Dodgers, tomorrow at 8 on ESPN. Who will be crowned kings of Europe? Spain.
The champions will be fighting for the big prize again.
Italy. Euro 2012 final, tomorrow at 2:30 on ESPN.
The ESPN Wide World of Sports Complex is a world-class, state-of-the-art facility hosting hundreds of youth amateur events like Disney-created soccer and baseball tournaments, AAU national championships, the ESPN HS games, Varsity Brands cheerleading, and the Pop Warner Super Bowl. To find out how your team can compete here, visit ESPNWWOS.com.
AAU Baseball Grand Nationals, number 1 seed, Team MVP, and the second seeded Tigers of Orlando set to square off in the 11 and under Diamond Championship. Antonio Roca on the mound for Team MVP, and he is making his second appearance of this tournament. 4 innings pitched, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, and 7 strikeouts. Rosa in, and he looks at a called strike. 0-1. So it's pitcher on pitcher here. Rosa is a scheduled starting pitcher for the Orlando Tigers. Right-handed batter. And here's the 0-1. A little bit low, and the count levels at 1-1.
It'll be interesting to see how these young fellas do on the portable mound. Most of the games that they play, they throw off a regular dirt mound.
And that's a called strike. Gets the call low in the zone.
A lot of these kids take, they go to facilities that have indoor mounds and stuff. I've got one at, I've got 2 portable mounds at my place, so it's not like this is completely foreign to them.
And that ball's fouled away, and the count levels at 2-2. You know, you get into a championship game like this, Mike, in a 7-inning game, the first inning, getting in and getting back into the dugout, so important. Next pitch, sails outside.
Yeah, everything about, this is all different for these kids. And, maybe it's an advantage that they just went from one game to another. They didn't have a chance to really think about it. I'm sure if I was 11 and had a night to think about it, I'd have trouble.
Shot down to third, picked up across the diamond, and the out is recorded 5-3.
That's a nice
Jake
play.
Holland.
Yeah, nice play over by Jake Holland. A little chopper here, and gathers it real well. Nice strong throw over to first base.
Now the shortstop for the Orlando Tigers, Alex Ortiz, steps in. Hitting 300 so far in this tournament. Another right-handed batter. You can see him checking the signs down into the third base coach's box. And in fact, he's going to take a walk over there and have just a brief moment with the coach.
I think we have a little question here as far as the lineups goes. So the umpire go right to his book and check in the lineups.
All right, so Gross will bat second. All right, so Gross will bat second.
Yeah, that's one of the things that, I'm sure the kids like getting over here quick, but not so much the coaches. We may have had a little lineup difficulty there.
All right, here's a look at the defense. Matching Centino, Tiburcio in right field, Holland at third, Morales at short, Sagaro at second, Carmona at first, Roca and Garavito, your battery for team MVP. So Gross will bat second. And so he is in there. Another right-handed swinger, number 25. Now check that, Ortiz will bat second. Yeah, Spanky, it's a good thing I'm doing this card in pencil today.
Well, that's the thing is, everything's rushed around like they did.
Exactly.
Both coaches are now going to look at it and they're going to talk about it. And we've got both of them are out there thinking, well, this isn't right. No, this is right. They're just trying to figure it out. They don't have the luxury of 3 hours before and having assistant coaches do that for them.
All right. Well, let me lean on you as an ex-major leaguer here. If a player in the major leagues is announced and he comes to the plate and he is not in the lineup, batting out of order, is that an automatic out in the MLB?
I believe it's an automatic out, and that guy that he was the guy that was supposed to be hitting for is out of the game.
Okay.
And that guy has to be the hitter and stay in the game.
All right. So Ortiz looks at a called strike. He was announced. And he will stay in there.
Yeah, as far as announcing goes, I'm not so sure at this level if that rule applies. I would tend to think that there actually would have to be a pitch thrown before anything happens. And I've seen that in youth baseball. Team batting out of order. Now the coach will bring it to attention. Now they go ahead and call it.
Here's the 1-1. Sliced foul down the right field side. It's 1-2.
I would actually tend to think that if this was a team from Florida, basically, or facing a team from Indiana, they might be able to get away with that. But I'm sure these two guys, these two teams, they know each other enough to where, hey, no, that's usually that's the guy that usually bats second. What's going on here?
Another foul, and the count stays at 1-2. Here's the 1-2. Off-speed pitch. Got a piece of it. Stays alive. Fouled off a good pitch there.
Yeah, most of these pitchers, they're going to stay basically fastball and a changeup. Every now and then they'll try to throw a little wrinkle into one and try to make it break. But all these guys here, it's just a matter of throwing strikes and staying ahead in the count.
Swing and a miss. 2 away.
That looked like just a good hard fastball right there by Roca. Kind of elevated in the zone. Here's a look at that, a little up above the belt, and Ortiz didn't quite watch that ball hit the bat, pulled off of it a little bit.
First strikeout for Roca. 2 outs, opening frame. Migdiel Burgos. And that's a called strike.
Yeah, we're going to see a little bit of different rules for those folks out there watching us. These will not be Little League rules. This is open bases, they call it. There's going to be leading. There's drop third strikes. It's more or less like high school rules. There's some re-entry. There's some runners that run for the pitchers and the catchers. So it's not quite to the big league level, but a little bit more advanced than the Little League rules.
Pitch was outside. Burgos went fishing, came up empty. It's 1-2. He has been scorching here in this tournament. 583 with 4 RBI. Here's the 1-2. Count levels at 2-2. Roman would be next if the inning continues. Swing and a foul ball.
And judging from the swings that we're seeing from the Tigers, looks like Roca really good velocity on his fastball. Most of the Tiger hitters are well behind on their swings.
Here's the 2-2 and another foul ball. Hey, I like those sunglasses on Roca.
Yeah, I'm not
looks
so
like the
sure.
Terminator out there.
They're not going to he's not going to be able to get away with that in the big leagues, unless it's a prescription, I believe. But it's pretty cool looking out there.
Here's the 2-2 pitch. Took a little bit off that. Fishing for the outside corner with that curveball, and the count is full. Roca quickly back. Swing, line drive, base hit into right. And our first hit.
Yeah, nice at bat right there. Gets a fastball away from, down and away. Pretty good pitch, and he just went with it real nice to right field. And where this ball hit, on one of their regulation fields, that's probably close to the outfield. Here at the big league field, just hit it in the dirt.
Burgos now 8 hits in this tournament. Elian Roman now at the plate, the first baseman, the cleanup hitter for the Orlando Tigers. Swing and a miss from his heels. 65 miles an hour. You can see the pitch speed now in our scorebook in the lower right.
Yeah, 65 miles an hour is probably the equivalent at 50 feet of close to a 90, 93 mile an hour fastball. That's really getting it up there quick.
And he's ahead in the count now, 0-2.
Yeah, 66 miles an hour. I mean, when you think about it, when you see big league games, guys throwing 90, 92, hey, it's not that big a deal. Well, hey, this is the equivalent right here. And these are kids that are age 11 trying to put these balls in play.
Yeah, you go to a park and they've got that fast pitching machine. You understand how fast 65 miles an hour really is. Checks the runner at first. Here's the 0-2. Fouled straight back. And we'll do it again. Boy, Roca has been around the plate. He went to 3-2 to one batter in this opening frame, but he has been throwing strikes. We've seen a fastball, seen a curveball. comes set. Here's the 0-2. And that's the fastest pitch we've seen him throw in this inning, hitting 68 on the gun.
Yeah, he's mainly staying with the fastball, but he is mixing in the off-speed pitch. Really makes that fastball even quicker.
Here's the 20th pitch of the frame. Swing and a miss. 2 strikeouts. And that is going to do it for Orlando here in the top of the first. Top-seeded Team MVP comes to the plate when we come back. Roca with a pair of strikeouts in the opening frame.
At 1,500.
Hey, Captain, what's that? This is Watch ESPN. It's an app that allows me to watch ESPN live. See, I'm watching Sunday Night Baseball right now.
That's pretty nice.
Yes, Michael. Technology has been good to us.
You can say that again.
Couldn't get any better than this.
Who wants a cookie?
I do. Ooh, me. What do you say we land this puppy?
Okay.
Visit WatchESPN.com or download the Watch ESPN app.
The ESPN Wide World of Sports complex is a world-class, state-of-the-art facility hosting hundreds of youth amateur events like Disney-created soccer and baseball tournaments, AAU national championships, the ESPN HS games, Varsity Brands cheerleading, and the Pop Warner Super Bowl. To find out how your team can compete here, visit ESPNWWOS.com.
We are underway. After a half an inning of play, the Orlando Tigers managed a 2-out base hit, but now Team MVP, the number 1 seed in this tournament, coming to the plate. Morales at short, Centino in center, Tiburcio in right, Carmona at first, Holland will play third, Casas is the DH, Machin in left, Garavito the catcher, and the extra player is Adrian Rodriguez. Michael Rosa is on the mound. We've already seen him hit. He's the leadoff hitter for the Orlando Tigers. That's not that uncommon in AAU competition where the pitcher also hits.
Yeah, majority of these youth teams, your better athletes, your pitchers, and your shortstops. You find a lot of these kids, if they don't pitch, they're playing shortstop. At some point, they kind of grow out of those positions, either by necessity from other teams or their ability level doesn't allow them to continue. But whenever I was a kid, I was a pitcher and a shortstop. Eventually moved over to third base, and then where I really belonged, ended up behind the plate.
So here's Morales to lead off. And the first pitch is a breaking ball that catches the inside portion of the plate for a called strike. And there's a base hit. And Morales continues to swing the bat well. He's hitting .538 in this tournament. And so Yo-Yo with a line drive out to right field. And the leadoff man's aboard.
Well, Team MVP really swung the bats well in the semifinal game. Mercy run ruling their opponent from Savannah, the Bulldogs. And here they're not skipping a beat, starting off with a base hit.
Kenny Centino is next. And Centino batting from the left side, and right away the runner is off and steals second base. So Yo-Yo trying to make things happen. Leads off the bottom of the first with a base hit, steals second. And Kenneth Centino.
I tell you, at this youth level,
Centino's been rocking it as well, hitting .588 in this affair. Lines a foul ball down the left field side, and the count levels at 1-1.
Yeah, if you don't have a catcher, they can handle the running game, or a pitcher if he's not very quick to home plate. These guys will run you out of the ballpark. It's such an important part of this youth level game, being able to steal. We look at the big leads. all of these things are new to these kids. They start playing open bases at age 11, so they can take leads. The pitchers have to pitch out of the stretch. There's all kinds of new balk rules. So this is a big transition game or the year for these kids at age 11.
Here's the 1-2 pitch, and his line foul. I wanted to ask you, Mike, a moment ago, you really had to like the way Torriella framed that called strike. Was able to hold that ball just for a moment and give the home plate ump a good look at it.
Well, this day and age of all the technology out there, there are so many ways of catching, and guys out there teaching all these techniques, and you see the kids kind of look like little junior big leaguers out there. Obviously not the size and the strength, but they have a lot of the same actions.
All right, 2-2 now. Down to third. Looks the runner back across the diamond. And now coming to third is Yo-Yo.